Hey everyone, so this class is about building strong legs. All we'll need for this one is a yoga block, and we're gonna dive in, get started right away. So let's lay down onto our backs. And we'll start with a bent knee position, constructive rest, soles of the feet on the floor, knees knocking in. And we'll begin by simply starting to observe our breathing. Noticing if that breath feels quick or slow, deep or shallow, if there's any pausing along the way. See if you can begin to sense the breath filling the body from bottom to top. Releasing from top to bottom. And now slowing the breath down just a little bit more. So now set the legs up like you're about to take a bridge pose. So ankles pretty close to underneath the knees, and hug your right knee in towards your chest. Let's just start with a little light squeeze. You might feel a stretch in the back of the glutes, maybe the low back just a little bit. Good, now keep holding onto that right knee. Extend your left leg straight up towards the ceiling. So a little leg strengthening right away. What we're going to do now is engage the muscles of this left thigh. So think about squeezing the muscles of your left thigh, maybe hugging your left kneecap up towards your hip, flexing your left foot and kicking through the heel. And let's also flex that right foot. So everything's pretty engaged here right now. Imagine that somebody's pushing into your calf muscle, and slowly, slowly, slowly begin to lower that left leg down towards the floor. Don't let the heel touch the floor. We're going to end with the heel hovering just above the floor. Breathe. Now imagine that somebody's pushing into your shin and resisting you trying to lift the leg up. So really slowly, try to lift that left leg up against this imaginary resistance. Good. Extend the arms out to a T, and we're going to do that same movement again. So first, press the low back into the floor. And now engage the muscles of that left thigh just a little bit more. And slowly begin to lower that left leg almost all the way to the floor. Really, really, really slowly. Now imagine somebody pressing into your left shin and begin to really, really slowly lift the left leg back up. Set the right foot down on the floor, hug the left knee in towards the chest. Good, give it a little squeeze. Extend that left leg straight up towards the ceiling, interlace the hands behind the left thigh, and again begin to kick through the heel and try to straighten the left leg. And now for this one, we're going to do a little resistance. So actual resistance. So push the left thigh into the hands and pull the hands back into the left thigh. So you feel the hamstrings, the glutes maybe, the hip, and certainly the quadricep muscles really working here. Keep pressing the leg into the hands. Keep pulling the hands back into the leg. Good, now pause the pressing of the leg into the hands, but keep pulling the hands into the leg. Find your way into the beginnings of a hamstring stretch. And we'll do that one more time. So now push the thigh into the hands, hands into the thigh. Stop pressing with the thigh. Keep pulling with the hands. See if you can deepen into that stretch a little bit more. Maybe slide the hands up the leg and gently hold here. Good. And now just hug that left knee into the chest. Extend the right leg straight up towards the ceiling. So let's do that same thing here now. So we're flexing through that right foot, engaging through the right leg to pull the kneecap up to try to straighten the leg even more. And then really, really slowly begin to lower that right leg down towards the floor against imaginary resistance. So maybe imagine somebody's pushing up on your calf muscle and you're resisting that. And we'll end with the heel barely hovering above the floor. Good, now imagine somebody pressing into your shin. Slowly lift that right leg straight back up, nice and slow towards the ceiling. Release the arms to a T. Press the low back down, so we're getting our core involved a little bit now, or a lot. Slowly begin to lower that right leg down towards the floor. Nice and slow. Engage those thigh muscles. Don't lose the low back connection to the mat. Good. Really slowly lift that leg back up with control. Like somebody's pushing on your leg. Good. And now set your left foot down on the floor. Hug your right knee in toward your chest for a moment. Wrap the hands behind the right thigh. And now begin to kick through that right heel to straighten the right leg. Now we'll start to press the thigh into the hands, pull the hands back into the thigh so it's super active. Now stop pressing with the leg, keep pulling with the hands. See if you can find your way into the first hamstring stretch on the side. Good, and now do that again. So start to press with the thigh into the hands, hands back into the thigh. Stop pressing with the leg, keep pulling with the hands. See if you can deepen into this one just a little bit more. Good, and release. Hug that right knee into the chest for just a moment. And set the right foot down on the floor. Release the arms alongside you. We'll take just one bridge pose to now kind of stretch out the front of the hips and the thighs. As we inhale, push the feet into the mat, lift the hips up. As we exhale, slowly lower down one vertebra at a time. Once you lower all the way down, pick the feet up, hug both knees into the chest. And let's rock forward and backward. Come all the way up to seated, and then right over to hands and knees, table pose. All right, we'll take a few rounds of cat-cow here. So if you're familiar with it, go ahead. If you want to stick with me, let's start with the tailbone. So tucking the tailbone, rounding the spine and dropping the head, tucking the chin. Inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze, and relaxing the shoulders down and away from the ears. Let's do that a few more times. Nice rounding in the upper back. Good. And dropping the belly, lifting the gaze. Let's take just one more round. Slowly come back to a neutral position now, and let's tuck our toes and just find a downward facing dog. Just relax the heels down towards the floor here. Hug the upper arm bones in. Inhale, rise to the tippy toes. Exhale, press the heels down towards the floor. Twice more with that. Inhale, rise to the tippy toes. Exhale, press the heels down. One more. Inhale, rise to the toes. Exhale, press the heels down. Inhale, look forward, rise to the toes, and step forward between your hands. Inhale to lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold, wrap the hands behind the calves, push into the calves and pull up to deepen into a nice deep forward fold. Soften the knees, push into the feet. Inhale, arms rise all the way up and overhead. Exhale, join the hands together at the heart. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, chair pose, sit down and back. Walk the big toes to touch, heels just slightly apart. Inhale, rise to the tippy toes, swim the arms back behind you. Exhale, press the heels down, stretch the arms straight back up, maybe sit down another inch. Take an inhale here. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your right leg up in the air. And as you exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Good. So now we're going to push into that right foot to activate the right hip and the right thigh. And as you inhale now, stretch up to a Crescent Warrior. That back leg is really strong here, so hug the inner thighs in towards each other. And also engage the muscles of your left thigh. Good, nice deep breaths. Good. Now, listen carefully. As we inhale, we're going to switch the bend in the knees. So inhale, stretch your right leg straight, bend into your left knee, and see if you can lean back a little bit. Stay with me. Good. Inhale, Crescent Warrior. Exhale, switch the bend in the knees. Right leg is straight, left knee is bent. Lean back. Good. Crescent Warrior. One more. Inhale, bend into that left knee, stretch into the right leg, lean back. And now we're going to keep that right leg straight. Push down through the left heel to straighten your left leg. Lean halfway forward. Good. Keep hugging your outer right hip in here. Breathe. And now as you exhale, just drop the fingertips to the floor for a waterfall pose. Drop the torso towards the thigh. Drop the head in. You can keep your hands either on the floor. You do have a block, so if you need to prop yourself up a little bit, you're welcome to grab hold of that yoga block. Good, a few more breaths here. Relax that left heel. As we inhale, now bend into the right knee. Stretch the right leg all the way back, top of a push-up. Those right toes are going to hover in the air. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a few breaths here. Hug the upper arm bones in again. See if you can get the shoulders to move away from each other. Good. Now inhale, raise your left leg straight up in the air. Exhale, step the left foot forward between the hands. Good. We're going to come up onto those fingertips, push into that left foot. Inhale, slowly rise up to a Crescent Warrior. Engage the muscles of your back thigh, so remember that back leg is really strong. And stay with me. We're going to switch the bend in the knees. As we inhale, straighten that right leg, straighten the left leg, bend into the right knee, and lean back. Good, re-bend into the left knee, straighten the right leg. Good, straighten the left leg, bend the right knee, lean back. Bend into the left knee, straighten the right leg. One more. Straighten the left leg, bend into that right knee, lean back. And now straighten the right leg, lean forward, and pause for a moment, and then melt down into a waterfall pose. Drop the fingertips down. Relax that right heel if you can. And just melting the torso over that left thigh. Let's rebend into that left knee, plant the hands, slide the left leg back, toes hover off of the floor. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, inhale, rise to the tippy toes, look forward. Exhale, step the feet between the hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise all the way up and overhead. Exhale, hands together at the heart. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, chair pose. Walk the big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. Sit on down. Good, rise to those tippy toes. Keep the arms up this time. And now we're going to click the heels together, separate the knees, and sit down into a little squat here with the hands at the heart. Now, from here, see if you can lift the hips up a few inches so that we feel our quadriceps really super engaged. Good, lower the hips, bring the knees together, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step the right foot between the hands. Inhale, Crescent Warrior, arms rise. We're just going to add a little bit on this round. Breathe. Good, stretch your right leg straight, bend your left knee, lean back. Crescent Warrior, bend into that right knee, stretch the left leg. Good, straighten the right leg, bend the left knee, lean back. Bend into that right knee, Crescent Warrior, we'll do just one more. Straighten the right leg, bend the left knee, lean back. Good. Now straighten the left leg, lean forward, pause here. Reach those fingertips forward, hug the right hip in. Imagine maybe somebody's holding onto your fingertips and stretching the arms forward. As you exhale, drop the hands down to surround that right foot and melt the torso down. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Here's where you may choose to grab a yoga block. I think it's kind of helpful to have one here. Place it underneath your left hand the shortest possible way. Take your right thumb to the crease of your right hip and just kind of hug your right hip back in space. And now raise your right arm up in the air. So this is a revolved triangle. It's a little bit longer than our normal revolved or twisted triangle, but stay here. Good, exhale, look down, standing split. So bend into that right knee, hop the left leg up in the air. You can get rid of your block for now. Push into your right foot. See if you can hover your arms up towards your heart. Good, push into your right foot as we inhale, rise all the way up, bring that left knee up with you. Good. Now, as we exhale, stay with me. We're going to take our left heel forward and try to tap the floor in front of us. So bending into that right knee, tap the left heel down. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, tap the left toes back, bend into that right knee. Inhale, come back up. One more, exhale, tap the toes to the left, bend into that right knee. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, chair pose, sit down and back. Good, take an inhale. Take an exhale, sit a little deeper. Inhale, come up onto those tippy toes. Click the heels together, separate the knees, sit on down, drawing the hands to the heart. Good. Now, inhale, lift the hips up a few inches. Breathe. Exhale, drop the hips down, bring the knees together, fold forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step to the back of the mat, top of a push-up. Downward facing dog. Good, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step that left foot between the hands. Inhale, Crescent Warrior, arms rise. Good, again, just settle in here. Now, straighten that left leg, bend the right knee, lean back. And Crescent Warrior, come forward. Lean back again, stretch the left leg, bend the right knee. And bend into that left knee, come into Crescent Warrior, one more. Straighten the left leg, bend the right knee, lean back. Straighten the right leg, lean forward, stay here for a moment. Good, exhale, drop the hands down to the floor. Again, maybe grab hold of your yoga block, place it underneath your right palm. And we're gonna take our left thumb now to the crease of the left hip and just kind of encourage it back. And then take that left arm all the way up towards the ceiling for kind of this long revolve triangle pose. As you exhale, now look down, drop the left hand down, standing splits, get rid of that yoga block, raise that right leg up in the air. Good. Inhale, lift halfway, see if you can float the hands to the heart. Good, and then rise all the way up, bring that right knee up with you, stretch the arms up and overhead. Good. Now bend into that left knee, kick the right heel forward, see if you can tap it to the floor. Inhale, bring the right knee back up. Exhale, see if you can tap those right toes pretty far back behind you. Bring the right knee back up. One more, now tapping those right toes out to the right. Good, and bring that right knee back up. Exhale, sit down into chair pose. Good, this time just fold forward. Let's take a few rounds of breath. We have just one more standing round per side. Soften into those knees. Push into the feet. Let's inhale, stretch the arms all the way back up and overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. So just 2 more chair poses. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, rise onto the toes. Exhale, sit down into our squat. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, drop the hips, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, top of a push-up. And this time, let's take a chaturanga from here, lower halfway down. Inhale through to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, take your right leg up. Exhale, step that right foot between the hands. Let's rise all the way up to a warrior 2 now. So really stretching those arms out wide. Reverse your warrior, left arm down, right arm reaches up. Grab hold of your right wrist with your left hand. And now as you pull your right arm, straighten your right leg. Good. Keep leaning back. Release the arms to a T. Let's find a triangle pose. Reach forward with that right hand. Drop the back of the right hand into the inner right leg someplace and push. I find that this is a nice way to help the body align so we're not dipping forward into the shoulder. Good. Now push your feet down and apart. Rise back up. Turn your right toes to face the long edge of your mat. Good. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, goddess pose. Heels come in, knees bend, elbows bend. Good. And then now let's bring the backs of the hands against the inner knees. And you're gonna press the hands into the knees, knees into the hands. If you can't reach, sit down further. Good. And then keep that, bring those arms back out to that goalpost shape. As we inhale, lift an inch. As we exhale, lower 2 inches. Good. Inhale, lift 1 inch. Exhale, lower 2 inches. One more time. Inhale, lift an inch. Exhale, lower 2 inches. Good. Inhale, straighten the legs, stretch the arms up. And exhale, warrior 2. Swim the hands down to surround that right foot. Pivot onto the ball of the left foot. Standing splits, raise that left leg up in the air. Good. Let's push into that right foot. Inhale, rise all the way up. Bring the left knee up with you. If you have any quad strength at all left here, you're gonna need it. Wrap the hands around the left knee. And then squeeze that left knee in and up without changing how you're standing. Good. Now, we're gonna release the left knee. Don't let it drop at all. See if you can stretch the left heel forward. Breathe. One more breath. Chair pose. Last one. Second to last one. Inhale, rise to the tippy toes. Exhale, sit down into that squat. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, drop the hips, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step to the back of the mat, top of a push-up. Good, take the inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step that left foot between the hands. Inhale, Crescent Warrior. And then exhale, Warrior 2. Drop that right heel. Reverse the Warrior, right arm down, left arm reaches. Reach up with that right hand, catch hold of the left wrist, and gently pull. Good, release the arms to a T, reach forward, and then take the back of your left hand to the inside of your leg for triangle pose. Push the feet down and apart, rise back up. And now inhale, take the arms up, turn those left toes to face the long edge of the mat. And then goddess pose, bring those elbows out to the sides. Drop the hands down so that the backs of the hands are against the inner knees. Push the knees out. Good, and then keep that. Bring the elbows out to the sides. Inhale, lift an inch. Exhale, lower 2. Good, inhale, lift an inch. Exhale, lower 2 inches. One more time, inhale, lift an inch. Exhale, lower 2. Good, straighten the legs, straighten the arms. Warrior 2. Swim the hands down to surround that left foot. Standing splits, raise that right leg up in the air. Good. Push into that left foot, let's rise all the way up. Bring that right knee up with you. Almost done. Wrap the hands around the right knee. Hug the right knee in and up. Good, keep the knee exactly where it is, release the arms. Now see if you can straighten that right leg forward. And chair pose, really the last one this time. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to hands and knees. Sit back on the heels for just a moment. And then we're just going to come to seated. So for this one, we're going to do a little stretching of the legs. If you can, we're going to stretch the right leg forward, and we'll bring our left knee back, or bend our left knee and take our left foot back behind us. If that doesn't work for you, you could certainly bring your left foot against your inner right thigh. So if that does work for you, go ahead and position yourself here. Stretch the spine straight up. Take the arms up. And then as we exhale, fold in any amount, maybe grabbing hold of the foot if you can reach. Maybe just resting the arms down on the floor. Slowly walk yourself back up. Carefully release that left leg. Take the right leg back behind you if you can. Again, otherwise you can bring your right foot against your inner left thigh there. Inhale, stretch the arms up. And let's exhale, fold forward. Inhale, press your way back up. Unwind that right leg. Grab your yoga block if you do happen to have one, and we're going to lie down onto our backs, just like we started with a bend in our knees. Good. All All right, so press into the feet, lift the hips up and slide the block underneath you, under the sacrum, the second tallest way. We'll just do a little passive stretch for the front of the thighs. So hug the right knee in towards the chest. Stretch the left leg all the way down and just completely let that left leg relax. Start to check back in with the breathing. Maybe try to slow it down a little bit. Switch sides. First, just set that right knee down, hug the left knee in, and then stretch that right leg all the way down. And just let it relax. Now release the left leg, maybe stretch both legs all the way down or place a bend in both knees if this does not feel good to you. If it does feel good, feel free also to come up maybe another level on the block and really get that nice passive release for the front of the hips. For some of us this might not feel all that great though, so you can simply stay here with the sacrum on the block and the feet on the floor. If the legs are extended, bend into the knees, lift the hips up, let's slide that block away. Really gently hug both knees into the chest. Let's just end with a nice spinal twist. Release the arms out to a T. Softly drop the knees to the right, look to the left. We won't be here too long. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale to let it go. Inhale, take your gaze up, bring the knees back through center. Exhale, take the knees left, look right. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. And turn the gaze back up, bring the knees back up. Give yourself just one last little squeeze in, maybe round in, bring the forehead towards the knees. And then release the legs all the way down. Let the arms rest comfortably alongside you. Allow the eyes to softly close. Take a last deep breath in here. Exhale, let it go, and let the whole body just melt into your mat. Enjoying these last few moments in Shavasana. Feel free to stay here in Shavasana as long as you'd like, or stretch the arms over the head, Stretch the legs forward now. And bring the knees into the chest. And gently rock on up to seated, joining the hands together at the heart. Namaste.